Hi everybody! All my friends have come to dinner. It looks like they've come to dinner, but you know how we all like to talk about the weather. Well, our weather is extremely hot. I can't remember the last time I seen rain that amounted to anything. A long time. Very dry and hot. Nothing but blue sky. You get up in the morning and you look, no blue sky. And that's a good thing, I guess, except it's so dry everywhere. Well, the orchids could take all this heat. Wasn't bothering them. But then we had a cold warning. It actually snowed in Alberta and up in the mountains in BC and a little further north than us. So they were saying the temperature was going to go down to 9 Celsius. Way too cold for the orchids. I don't like to see anything under, I'd like to not go under 54 or 55. They can take that, but any lower, we're in trouble, because when I put them out early in the spring, we had one that went down to 50, and I have one orchid that was near the window on the patio, and I'll show it to you, that what will happen is their leaves will just turn to mush. So beware of those cold temperatures if they're outside. And this is the one. It's fastly recovering, but we almost lost some leaves. But these ones here is getting nice new ones. Look at the growth. I mean, the shock of that cold in the spring made that one just zoom right out and grow tons of roots. But I'm not gonna talk too long here. We gotta do a tour and explain a few things, some garage sale things, some plant information, all kinds of stuff, and we're going to cover gnats. So I'm going to pick up the camera and I'm going to get busy. Okay, so here we are. The table is set because the weather is so hot. The windows, I cannot put them in the windows because we're having hotter than average temperatures. And so I have blinds that come down, my Venetian blinds. In fact, quite often in the winter, if it's a dry day, they're all in the window. I put the misters on, put them in here, bring down the Venetian blind, and they have a nice little humid bath. So anyway, they're not in the window. This, while I'm here, for $3 at a garage sale with the plant. I did repot it. And the reason I picked it up is because it can take the full sun. And I don't have anything I can leave in this window in the summer when the orchids are on the patio. So I thought, wow, $3. But I did repot. It was very dry. And it came with this cup and saucer pot for $3, the whole thing. The lady was moving, and I thought, I like that. So, and I also picked up this little pot here that I'm going to put an orchid in, because it kind of matches my flowers. It's kind of cute. It has a tea light in it, but I'll just sit a little saucer in the bottom and put a plant. So while we're here, we'll look at the orchids that are here right now because they can't be outside. So this orchid, now this orchid is the one in the plastic paint can. Now the oil paints don't come in these plastic paint cans, but the latex ones do. And the orchids love them. And even the dendrobiums love them. But this is the plant that fell in the planter, and I had to cut some off. One leaf broke off. But since then, this leaf is new. It's so beautiful. Now, this leaf is coming new, and these are so big leaves, they're very floppy when they first come. And sometimes I'll roll up a Kleenex or something, and just a little sponge, and support it till it finishes growing, because it's growing so fast. And tomorrow is watering day. So some of these roots, they're not quite as green as maybe they could be, but it's watering day tomorrow. And it's happy. It's not, the paint can is good, and if you look way down in here, that's what it looks like. I can't go too much further down right now, but that's what it looks like. And we have a little one here with a nice new leaf coming. And this is Moon Glow, one of my oldest orchids, and I did not want her to really spike. I want her to rest, but her leaves are healthy. She doesn't have many, but she has a nice spike coming, and that was from that early cold in the spring. We got 2 orchids that decided to shoot out over that. Now, this is the pot. I think it was a tea light too, and I took 2 little plants and put them in here. This is a new leaf. It's losing 1 leaf, but it's doing fine. Oh, look, well, just see what this is? This is scale. Every time I wash, I look for that. Now, oh, that's an old, dry, dead one. And I wipe them off, so you got to keep your eyes open all the time. Now, this pot is cracked, and I'm afraid it's going to break, so I've just stuck it inside this one. And this one set out a spike from the cold in the spring. It had a new leaf coming, plus it has a nice spike coming. And this is the traffic cone that I painted, and all the aerial roots were all stuck out here, and I had to take it in the bathtub and pull them all off. And it did take a bit of a shock. I ended up cutting those ones so that they weren't so long. They didn't like being pulled off. But this is a new leaf, and the last leaf is bigger than all the other leaves, so that's a good sign. And they're nice and firm. I mean, I couldn't bend that leaf. So it's doing good. And I had to move my Hoya over here because I have another garage sale fire. I can't wait to show you. So this is my Hoya, and this is a tomato cage. I cut off part of it, and it is working so good, and I just wind these little pieces around, and as they escape, look at this one, as they escape, then I'll come and I'll wind it around and find where it needs to go. So, okay, so now I have to show you what I did. Now, remember the pot, the cone that I got at a garage sale? Jack made the stand, and I did a video where I tried to make the stand look copper, like this is hammered copper. And so I wanted to make the stand to match, and I was going to put an orchid in it until Saturday at a garage sale. I found this rabbit's foot fern. I had never seen one in my life before. I was totally enthralled by these long rhizomes. Look at this. I think it should be called a Dracula fern. I think some people call it that because of these roots, and they grow down, and then the fern is growing out of them. Now, they hate being moved. It was bought at a garage sale, and I didn't repot it, but I had to put it in a north window so it's not getting too much light, which it won't like. But still, some of the leaves did show a little track, you know, just from moving and bringing them in our little car, but so far so good. I'm really happy with it. And I've never been good at growing ferns, but they say this is a good fern for people that aren't good at growing ferns. So if anybody's got tips out there for me, I'll be glad to hear them. I have been misting the little roots just like an orchid. They love orchid care. So, and in the back, I put just a big bowl, and I just run one of my cool misters over the side because there's no hole in this bowl, so that they have mist here. And I want to show, I put a smaller bowl inside and a stand, and there we are. It has nice mist. But this, I needed a stand. I didn't have any more, and Jack said he'd make me one. Now, I'm going to put this on the table. What is it, everybody? What is it? Come on. I'm sure you all know what this is. It is a rain gutter. You know they're aluminum, they don't rust. He took the paint off the outside, and instead of being kind of an oblong shape, he stretched it, made it round, cut it off, and he did all these little holes with a blowtorch and then punched them out with a punch. Isn't that neat? So now it's the perfect size for above one of my misters, and it will hold a saucer and the mist, and as you can see, that's what's in this one. So where that little top is, I could put a saucer. It's plenty firm enough, and I could put an orchid on top of there. So I'm looking forward to doing that. That was a good discovery. So simple. Now don't start stealing rain gutters off of people's houses. That wouldn't be good. So, okay. The saddest one here, this is the one I repotted last. There was 2 orchids, and it's in the sewer pot that Jack liked so much that he made. With this, he put it in this stand. So I'm telling you, this is a discovery I made. Now, when an orchid is very sad and wrinkled like this, the roots are taking a shot because it was just in moss, just thick. Those roots hadn't been breathing for some time. And I changed the media so they take a double shot because they have to grow new roots to suit the new media. So they're not going to really, an orchid in that state, absorb the fertilizer. So well, and I thought, you know, I had some green tea, and I soaked a green tea bag and cooled it off, and I poured the water in here, and what happened? New leaf. New leaf. I am so happy because I noticed this, you know, with orchids, you don't always notice things right away. I noticed this fairly quickly, and I'm sure it did it good. So what I'm doing, when it's real dry and hot and I water once a week, halfway in between the week, I just take my watering can with a light amount of green tea or black tea, not a flavored tea, but just straight tea, and I give them, just with a watering can, a little bit of water, all of them, because it's just so hot and dry lately. And I have noticed just doing that with the second watering a week when I'm not adding anything really, I did notice, and there's some good signs there. I see some little roots. So this is the mini traffic pot that I made, and it's the day before watering, and that's what it looks. This one I keep more in the shade, like the slipper orchids, and it's been much happier. It's got new leaves. They're firm, they're doing really well. And as soon as this real hot spell is out, which should be 2 more days, I might be able to put them back outside. So, slipper orchid. Now, this one, one watering day, not my last one, the one before, I accidentally pitched that leaf off. I don't know how I did it. It was floating in the water, but it is getting a nice new leaf. And this is a new leaf. And this I repotted, if you remember. I shook all the bark out of this sewer pot. This is just a triple sewer pot that Jack painted Monet style. And there's another new leaf coming here. So that's looking good. And these are my minis. And this one is Hirella reticula. It's one of the few species I've ordered from Forest Garden. They don't have phals. You can't get anything else. You can get sliver orchids or these. And I wish they had other stuff, but they're doing okay too. They got the green tea. Anything I thought really looked dry, especially the small pots, got the green tea halfway to watering day. But, you know, they're looking good. They just can't take this extreme hot and cold. But I want them back outside again because I want them to get more cool down. So they can go back out. There's one of the wire pots. This one's happy in there too. So there's that. Now I want to show you. As you know, I have been canning a lot. And what happens when you can is you get fruit flies. So I have my hornet glass catchers I pick up at garage sales, and they were good. Inside I have the mother apple cider vinegar, and I have I sometimes put a little piece of banana in them because they love banana. Whoops. Now you can see they're flying around in here. They're definitely, it works. It works. I have to move them around a bit, and then you can see that they're, so this one has some, this one's been over where I keep my bananas, which is way over in that corner. I put this one over there, always near my bananas, but they came in the house anyway from canning season. And this one, there's a piece of banana in there. So if they come in this door, they're going to get caught. They are in there. Little rascals. Yeah, you have to make sure you wash them out lots, because what happens is they will turn into those crawly white things. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm still bringing tomatoes in here. Had to take Mom to the doctor's the other day. Nothing serious. But anyway, and there was free spider plants, organically potted, so that was waiting for a home. And then here, this is out too. Here's the other one. Now, if I can get this close up. They're in here. There's a little piece of banana. And they're flying around in there. They want to come out the top, so they always head for the top. So we're catching them, and then I have, it was quite dry. It's our sprinkling day today, so I have to turn this off pretty soon. Very dry. Clothes are on the line. I love hanging clothes on the line. So that's what's happening outside. And over here, the dendrobiums, of course, they love cold. So I've left them out here. They're staying out here, and they're going to stay out here till late in the winter, where they get lots of light, but they get cold too. So it's watering day coming up for them too. And I have a new addiction coming on with these. I love them. And if I get flowers this year, we're going to have to put an addition on the house. So I've cleaned off the shelving, and now you can see how it looks. And the temperature is so far only 77 because it was so cold this morning, but it's going to go up to 100 and something. So this is how they look. This is a upside down dish in a bowl of water. And I make sure all these have water and they're sitting above the water. So they're always getting humidity from that. And of course, this is one of the bowls. I can't remember what you call those things. Anyway, a punch bowl. It's a punch bowl, and there's one of my homemade stands, and just an upside down saucer over the top. And there's the mister down there. So that's what the rain gutter's going to do, what this is doing. All in one piece, light and easy. Okay. So this is how it looks when the plants aren't here. So there I have a big, whenever I see those big pieces of glass, I think people made walls in their house with, I pick them up too. So that way I have lots of, then here's this mister. Those were from old chandeliers, glued on to, with aquarium glue. Maggie! Whoops. There we go. We'll just put that like that. So all these have water. And so the temperature is that, and the humidity right now, believe it or not, is hanging at 42, which I don't have anything going here. But when the orchids are here, all this is going, and I do get that extra 10 degrees of humidity in this corner, which pays off. And of course, I have the lava rock, which has definitely paid off with helping with the humidity. Now, over here, I have another, this is an old one I picked up at a garage sale. And they're catching too in there. You can see them flying around. Yeah, it does work. It's just apple cider vinegar and a piece of fruit. And they love bananas, so bananas is a good way to go. So anyway, I guess that's it. This is where I'm canning. Next will be organic grape juice, closer to fall. And the sink has been working out so good, and I'm so happy about that. So that's it for today, and I'm going to join on something with Mommy Ann and for the end, and you can see what's happening with her. And so I'm going to say goodbye, but I'm coming back with that short attachment. Whoops! You know that wasn't all the orchids I had. I had to come in this room too. So they're not in the window because, like I say, this window will just get too hot. But it's perfect for fall and winter and spring, but just the heat of summer is just too much. That artificial plant can take it, no problem. So I have this mister going for these ones. Look at the growth. Like I say, watering day's tomorrow. I want you to see how they look on the day before watering day. The last leaves are nice and big. This one's just growing. I've got them crowded here, that's for sure. This one had little leaves. It struggled. Then it got this bigger leaf, and now another one. So it's coming. And this is Mummy that I cut the little one off of, and she is way over there, and let's see if I can get down in there. Ooh, she's fine. I'm not sure, can't see. So I have to go on the other, hey, no barking. So this is where these are. And of course down here I have my Christmas cactus. And over here, more. And this one, in one of the little traffic cones, it struggled. You can see how limp these were. It got the green tea. Now look, and it has a new leaf going. This is a new leaf. So sometimes those leaves, they hang around for years, the ones that were limp. But after a while, when the new leaves grow, you hardly notice it. Some of them in the beginning were a little limp. And this is the Valentine Day orchid, the big foot, big lip. And it has another nice new leaf coming. Quite happy about that. This one has been half ripped off since I got it, but for now it's still on. And the root growth is looking good. Now you see this bark on the top is dry. But look. Look in there. No, it's happy. It's happy. It's going to do good. May not get flowers this year, but maybe next year. So we'll see. Because it, of course, already was in full bloom in February and longer. So, and I have another fountain up here. In my home page, I have close-ups of all these fountains, I think, most of them. So, actually, this table here, we were at a garage sale a couple years ago, and all this wood was in the side of the garage sale, and I said, I recognized it was a table, but it was all pieces. And I said, how much for this? She said $20. So it's beautiful wood. And so Jack had to rebuild where it attached on here. So he had to fix that. And the legs were all perfectly fine. And whoops, sorry, I just about fell over. But these little beads, some of them were missing. And he took little pieces of wood and ground them down to make more where we were missing some. And then, because I got orchids here, and the top is just beautiful, we got glass that overhangs nicely. So, never know what we're going to get. And there's your Miss Maggie. Okay, this video is going to be too long, isn't it, Maggie? Yes. What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? Huh? You're looking out the window? You like it, don't you? Okay, last look. You know, this is a no-care yard. All those cement rocks we turned into big rocks, and there's no work down here in this yard. I love it. So we're getting there. Sometimes it's more work to make less work, but that's what's going on in our neighborhood. And I hope good things are happening in your neighborhood. Bless you all. Love you all. Bye for now. Here she is. She doesn't know I'm doing this. We're making 2 nights dinner and her favorite potato salad. And here she is, 97 in December, in the kitchen cutting up potatoes and onions.
Cut myself up.
Smile for the camera. There we go.
Is that what you were doing?
Yeah, I'm over here. I got this side. I've been making some bean salad, and Mom's got potato salad on the go, and we're going to have a very nice, cool dinner.
It's so hot.
Because it's going to be extremely hot. And I'm going to add this on to the video I do later, so we'll see you when I do it.